Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Troy Clayton, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is leading aircraftsman Matthew Evans. We warmly welcome the family of Private Reginald Harrelson, whose story will be told shortly. We also warmly welcome the delegation representing Swimming Australia's Paralympic Swimming Development Team. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. We also acknowledge the members of the RSL Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria, and RSL Queensland, who are watching this ceremony broadcast across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by family and visitors to the memorial. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem. Thank you. If you're able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Private Reginald Alfred Harrison. Reginald Harrison was born in the city suburb of Petersham about 1893, the son of Jonathan and Emily Harrison. The couple had 7 children from 1818 onwards, of whom Reginald was the youngest. By 1914, Harrison was 22 years old, living in the Sydney suburb of Strathfield and working as a clerk, possibly for his elder brother Stanley's building company. On the 25th of July 1915, Reg, as he was known, enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force. Initially posted as a reinforcement for the 4th Infantry Battalion, he embarked on the troop ship Argyllshire in Sydney on the 30th September 1915. Reg joined the 4th Battalion at Tel El Kabir in Egypt on the 6th of January 1916, but 10 days later was transferred to the 56th Battalion. About half the men of the 4th were taken to form this new battalion. With blue eyes and fair hair, Reg soon acquired the nickname Snowy. In June 1916, he departed via Alexandria with the 56th Battalion, bound for the Western Front in France. Arriving in Marseille on the 29th of June, Reg's battalion was sent to the Fleur-based sector of the front near Fromelles for their first stint in the front lines. On the 12th of July, Reg was admitted to the 13th General Hospital in Bologna for treatment of an abscess on his neck which had become infected. He was then transferred to England and admitted to the Red House Auxiliary Hospital at Cromer in Norfolk. After receiving further treatment at the 1st Australian Auxiliary Hospital, Reg rejoined his battalion in France on the 26th of September. In mid-October 1916, he was detached for duty with 14th Brigade Headquarters, most likely to take on clerical duties for a time. Reg rejoined the 56th Battalion in June 1917, and later that month attended the 3rd Army Sniping School. He fought with the battalion during the 3rd Ypres offensive and was Captain Raymond Single's Batman for a time, until this much-admired officer was killed in action at Polygon Wood on the 26th of September. After capturing Polygon Wood, the battalion remained there for 4 days, fighting off German counterattacks. On the night of the 30th of September, the 56th was relieved by a battalion of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers. But during the march to the rear, enemy shells found their mark, wounding several men and killing 3. One of those killed was Private Reg Harrison. A comrade driver, Stan Ackland, said he saw Reg killed by a high explosive shell. He died within about 4 or 5 minutes, saying, "Only, I am done." His comrades buried him on the battlefield and marked the site so he could later be re-entered to a proper cemetery away from the front lines. But like so many thousands of others, especially in the dreaded Ypres salient, Reg's body was never recovered. With no known grave, he is commemorated on the Menengate Memorial in Ypres. He was 24 years old. Upon hearing the news, Reg's family remembered him in a memoriam in the Sydney papers as a good son, a brave soldier, and a warm-hearted friend. On the anniversary of his death, a year later, Corporal Fred Campion, who was sent home in 1917 shell-shocked, paid his respects to his fallen comrade. Beneath the flag, he gave his life, and now he sleeps in a hero's grave. And a soldier is still sadly thinking of his mate, so brave and true. Reg Harrison's name is also listed on the Roll of Honour at my right, amongst almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Reginald Alfred Harrison, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We'll remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub of Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the Director and staff, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support of the Memorial's development project. And we wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.